Hey everybody, Mike B here doing a video that I really haven't done in a long time. It's a Mike's Militaria product update. Pretty stoked, pretty excited to introduce some new projects and some ones that I've done before but kind of improved as well. So since I love helmets, you guys probably know that based on my videos and stuff like that on the channel. In the past I've done helmet videos up the wazoo. There's hundreds of them. And so I've decided to kind of incorporate my passion and love for helmets into teaching about history and also allowing people to have the joy that I have by actually physically having an example, whether it's a reproduction, original, or an accessory. So without further ado, I'll get into this. I got to kind of preface this by saying that a lot of these items are in the one-of-a-kind section on my website, so they might not be in stock by the time you're watching this video, but it gives you an idea of kind of the inventory and how it works and rotates. So one of the things I've been doing for years now that's really fun for me, I love doing it because each piece to me is a kind of work of art because everything's unique and different. And I've gotten some Reproduction M38 Fallschirmjäger helmets. These are really cool. And I put some period correct like colors and then this really rough texture on these. I'll show you some other examples too really quick. But this one is just simply something like a Normandy or Northern European in general camouflage scheme that I've kind of looked at original photos and kind of done my own little thing and played with it a little bit. So a lot of the M38 helmets you're going to see that are original and have camouflage patterns retain their decal. The paratroopers were very notorious for leaving the decal on even if they camouflage their helmets, so I chose to go that route. So there's that one that's up right now. Again, if these aren't here when you watch this video, just sign up for the newsletter. I post cool things in the one-of-a-kind section pretty regularly. So this one's a Repro M42 helmet, which is really cool. And it's got the correct Northern European chicken wire on it. So this stuff is handmade by a business partner of mine, or acquaintance, probably a partner. I've been working with him for years. And he's patterned this off of original chicken wired helmet examples in his collection that he's got and had for years. This is the correct gauge, the correct, like, I don't know, I'd call them a cell or whatever, width and everything like that, size, and the correct number of twists, making these absolutely identical to originals. You cannot really find this chicken wire, if at all, in the United States. So this stuff is the way to go if you like that look like I do and everyone else does. So this is up on the site. Hopefully I can get more of these M42 Repros because these things are the best I've ever seen. Usually the M42 is going to have like a kind of a right angle down there, but these are actually quite nice. So I'll keep getting them as long as possible and doing different decals and stuff like that, different paint schemes, chicken wire and whatever. These are really cool. I like them. I've sold out of my Repro M40s and restored M40 shells and Repro M35s at the moment. Otherwise, I'd show you some of those. But for now, you kind of get the idea. So we'll set that to the side. Here's just another one, speaking of chicken wire, of the M38s. This is a pretty typical kind of thing you would see in Normandy or Holland or even in the Ardennes, through just basically Northern Europe in general, through the end of the Second World War. So there's that, a single decal, and then I just did kind of an earlier war before they stopped really taking off the national tricolored shield decals on the right. I just did a double decal, kind of sanitized example. I put the correct texture and period correct dunkelgrau paint on there instead of the paint that comes on a lot of the repros, which is like this light grayish blue that's not historically accurate. So this is actually identical to an original paint job that they would have had on them from about 1940 onwards. So yeah, there's one that I did. Now we're going to talk about why I'm wearing this and just being a general dress up cosplay wannabe nerd, like so many of you grace me with in the present. Yes, I like playing dress up. It kind of helps me get my point across, and I think it looks cool. So, and then when people go to buy stuff, they can see how it actually looks on a person. So yes, here we are playing dress up. So what I've started doing in the past couple years, but really been expanding on patterns and stuff, is actually making helmet covers for different helmets, trying to find a universal, as much as possible, cut so that it can fit on as many helmets as possible. Now, I am a huge camouflage nerd as well. There's hundreds of camouflage videos on my channel, as you've probably seen. So camouflage and helmets go hand in hand. They're like peas and carrots to me. So I decided to teach myself how to learn how to sew. And that went with about what you'd expect as far as making mistakes, but learning from them and then progressively getting better and kind of learning new things as we go. So one of the patterns that I absolutely love, And I'm trying to get uniforms made in this pattern, but that's not as simple as you would think. That's for a future video. Is the M38 Blumentarn or Fallschirmjäger, whatever you want to call it. There's really no specific name for it besides the collector's names, like I just said. But it's typically called Blumentarn. Now they made these in full uniforms and stuff in the 1950s and 60s, and they switched to this stuff. So this is, I guess, a transitional period, even though it's the wrong helmet. My point being is this is a Pasget, right? So this is an M88 US Pasget. You can see from the liner, size large. And I kind of made these to fit size medium through large. XL might be a stretch. Literally, you'd have to stretch it pretty hard. So we'll just say medium and large for this. But this looks so freaking cool on a modern helmet. And the cool thing is, we'll talk about these other two sitting here in a second. This is an M56 76 East German helmet. Here, if I pull this tight, you can see, right? It also fits on there because I chose to use a drawstring closure instead of like a custom, like proprietary Pasget style with the Velcro loops and all that stuff. Or some other helmets have different ways to fasten the cover to the shell, and I just chose to make it like this because it's pretty universal. So here's a Spanish Marta helmet. You can see that it's a size large as well. And this nice German reversible Oak A is on there. Fits great. And I just wanted to kind of show you the versatility of the covers and why I chose to cut them like that. That's why I don't want to do the fast or the high or the ops core, the high cut covers, because each one of those helmets is cut differently and you have to be very specific with those helmets. So unless you already typed out your comment and asked, I'm not planning on doing those in the future because they are just so time consuming. And I'd have to have each individual helmet in front of me to measure those. So sorry about that for all you high cut nerds. Pasgets are better anyway, or ACHs. Yeah, I'll start that flame war. You can go ahead and comment with how rageful you are about how this is too big and whatever. Anyway, so this is on a German M92 Schubert V828 Gefechtshelm. Now, I've got the .44 on here, kind of fittingly. And this is a size 55 to 57, so it's about a medium. So this kind of shows you got a little bit of extra room, but not too much. And it fits perfect, looks great. Speaking of these Schubert B826s, if you like these and you've been looking for one forever and can't find one, maybe sign up for my newsletter on the site. Just maybe a good idea to be checking the website in the next few weeks. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing really set in stone. There would be no way of knowing unless you sign up for the newsletter and watch the site. But, so these do fit. This is just 3 different styles or 4 different styles of helmets that these covers do fit on. I figured I'd make a longer form video because a lot of you guys have been asking questions in the shorts and everything like that, and I can only fit 3 minutes worth of content into those, and it's like I have to cut a bunch of stuff. So I just decided to make this to kind of follow up, to respond to a bunch of your comments. Yes, these are on the site. Sometimes they're sold out. Sometimes they're sold out forever. But if you just keep checking back, and again, signing up for the newsletter, you'll know exactly when everything, whether it's covers or repro helmets or just cool one-of-a-kind surplus items or actual surplus items that are in bulk and you might be able to get your hands on in the near future. I don't know why I'm drawn to this one today, but anyway, so yeah, that's the best way to stay in touch. And I appreciate all you guys' interaction. You guys have been watching the crap out of my shorts, which is awesome. And I really appreciate all your comments because that's why I made this video, to kind of answer them and to show you that, yes, this is what it looks like in one spot and this is what it looks like on someone. So I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. I don't think so. Thanks again so much for watching. And if you got any questions, I'll try to answer them in the comment section on this video. Make sure you go to just at least check out the site if you don't want to sign up for the newsletter. MikesMilitaria.com. Link is in the description. All that fun stuff. So, as usual, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you on the next video.